Inspires. This is Coach Mo, your #1 women's empowerment coach and time management specialist. It's November. It's been November for 3 days. And it's important. I'm getting over a cold, so I sound a little scratchy and all those things. But I'm focused. I just was going over my month and getting my next week planned out. I have a monthly planner in my iPad, but you can have a written one. I use my pen to write in it, so that helps with the written part because I'm from a stage in life where we used to write everything down, so that's how I remember things and get things to soak in. Anyway, let's talk about November and planning and time blocking and all that. So it's November, and obviously January is right around the corner, right? December is going to be here, the holidays are here, the end of November and most of December. We're not going to be focusing on the things that we focus on for January. So it's important for us to start earlier or later in the year before for January. It's important for me to organize myself. I have started a new semester, started in September. I had to adjust to that, and the adjustment I thought would take no time at all, but it took longer than I thought because I don't know, maybe it's age, maybe it's just the past 2 years, the panorama has been crazy. I'm not sure, but it took time to adjust. I'm also not sure if I lived up to my expectation of this year's theme. Every year I theme the year that's coming up, and my expectation for this year was this would be my year of reaping, but I also didn't take into account burnout because the last year and a half or 2 years was full on learning business strategy, understanding myself within entrepreneurship. And when I got to January this year, I was like, no ma'am, no sir, talk to people. I didn't have it. I had to learn throughout the first couple of months of this year to give myself grace, step back and retrace some of my steps on the inside, get back to know me, organize myself from the inside out. And that wasn't easy. The most hard part about it was learning my level of limit, my current level of limit. Sometimes you want your level of limit to be here. You want it to be up here, but it's here. It's down here, okay? And if you don't understand that that's not a poor character judgment on yourself, you will hurt yourself. You will get into a rut and you will downplay yourself. You will even begin to tell yourself things like, oh, I made a mistake when I tried to get into this. This is bigger than me, or this is not my thing, which is not true. You have to take time with your goals and your dreams. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to be patient with the process. There's no getting around that. I don't care who you are. If you do something today and online you go viral tomorrow, you have to uphold that standard. There's a process in that. If you do something today and nobody knows your name for the next 10 years, there's still the process to that. You have to be patient with any process that you're about to go through because there's a process and you're going to go through it. You are not going to avoid it, especially if it's something that is supposed to be lifelong and lasting, or it's supposed to teach you how to be good in a lifelong lasting goal and dream. So what I did was write down what my current level has taught me about me. You have to self-evaluate and then recognize what your current level is telling you about yourself. For one, I learned how burnout feels. I never really felt that, or never knew that I felt that, or I could feel that doing something that I want to do. You know, you feel burnout, or you feel down, or you feel held down by life when hard things are happening. But when you're doing something and working at something that you're passionate about, you don't think about how that burnout will come and get you. I also learned how I handle my burnout currently in this level of limit, how I prioritize my one thing that's super important for right now, for this level of limit. Sometimes you could think that your one thing is going to be this, but your one thing ends up being something totally different that you need to focus on at this moment in time, and how you shift to prioritize it. How I can have patience with the other things not going how I expected because I live in hope and positive expectation. I learned that I live in hope and positive expectation, so it might not be right now, but I'm patient enough to see it through, and it's okay. So that's where I am at this level. I also learned about myself that my heart is pure. I've come across a lot of people who, by hook and crook, they are willing to personify a facade. And my heart is pure. Man, this is really who I am. And my intuition is solid. I trust myself. I understand that when I see something, when I feel something, when I hear something, I listen, I look, I feel, it has always come to pass. That what I was intuitive about, it wasn't wrong. Okay, that's something that's super important as a woman to have, that your intuition needs to be solid, sis. Until you get there, you might not need to be making big decisions. Get your intuition solid, okay? And the last two things that I learned about myself in this kind of season or this level of limit is I am truly going after my goals and dreams. Like, I ain't playing with this thing. Even though I'm at a place where I am saying, be patient with yourself and understand the process. It might not look like productivity, moving, but I know I'm in this for the long haul. And the last thing is I can adjust well, because I would have thought that I would have had this kind of hit this wall and crumbled. But because of the positive expectation and hope for aspire big, inspire bigger, I'm able to chill and I'm able to go through the process. So that's super important to know about yourself. Really assess yourself and see where you really are versus where you want to be. One of the most important things for me to convey or to even remember and understand for myself is that every limit that you have or every level that you are in, you will have a limit for yourself. Again, like I said, that is not a strike on your character, in your endurance and your resilience. That is not that. What it is knowing where you are and what you can handle in the space that you're in and handling life that way, because life is going to teach you how to level that up, understanding the process, staying organized, staying on top of your schedule, staying on top of your mental health, your emotional health, staying on top of things, and remembering that this level doesn't last always. You will rise to the next level, but you're not gonna come out the gate with all the levels in your possession. That's problematic. You will stop. You will hurt yourself. You will overindulge and underdeliver. That is not something that you should look forward to. If you feel like you got all the answers right now and you have just begun, something is off. It probably is your intuition. It probably is your trust in the process. But it's November. It's time to get into this space where you understand this is about you growing and you getting closer to the person that you truly want to be, step by step. Trust the process. All right, y'all. I want y'all to remember to aspire big so that you can inspire bigger. And what that simply means is do your best. Go hard at it. Take your time when you need to take your time. But because you're going after your best, there are people around you who are looking at you and will do the same. They'll be inspired to do the same. And also, don't quit your daydream. There's something in your heart, a desire of your heart that you are here on earth to live out and live through. Go after that thing with zeal. Be resilient. Don't give up on that. No matter how long it takes, no matter how much effort it takes, do that thing. Your reward is in that thing. And that's it, y'all. See y'all later. I'm gonna go get myself together and take some medicine. Later, y'all.